Chapter 6, Section 4, Traits, Genes, and Alleles. The key concept, genes encode proteins that produce a diverse range of traits. The same gene can have many different versions, just like there's different colors of hair, just like there's different colors of eyes. A gene is just a piece of DNA that directs a cell to make a certain protein. Each gene has a locus or a location, which is the specific position on a pair of homologous chromosomes. Here we can see, we go back to the chromosomes from our pea plant. That would be the gene location for whether or not the pea pod was wrinkled. The genes can influence the development of traits. All of an organism's genetic material is called the genome. A genotype refers to the makeup of a specific set of genes. We've had the human genome mapped for several years now. When I was in high school, they were predicting that it would be 2025 before they had it mapped. But just like everything else, technology, once they get going on it, things get easier, technology improves, and it starts going faster and faster. And so we've had the human genome mapped for several years, but there's still a lot we don't understand about it. So the genotype refers to the makeup, and the phenotype is the physical expression of the trait. So geno, like the gene, and pheno, the physical appearance. An allele is any alternate form of a gene that occurs at a specific locus on a chromosome. Each parent donates one allele for every gene. Homozygous is what we use to describe two alleles that are at the same spot on a specific locus. Heterozygous describes two alleles that are different at a specific locus. So homozygous, we can either be both the same as both dominant or both the same as both recessive. If it's heterozygous, it means you've got one big and one little letter. You can refer back to the Punnett square notes in the separate video for more explanation on how this is going to work with the Punnett squares. Alleles can be represented using letters. The dominant alleles are expressed as a phenotype when at least one allele is dominant. So if it's present, that's what you see. A recessive allele is only expressed as a phenotype when two copies are present. So they both have to be recessive in order for us to see that. Dominant alleles are represented by uppercase letters and recessive by lowercase. So in this instance, if both of them are recessive, that's what you're going to see. If one of them is dominant, then that's what you will see. It only takes one to make it dominant, to make the phenotype express that. Both homozygous dominant and heterozygous genotypes will yield a dominant phenotype. So remember, this is the genetics. This is the physical appearance. So in your textbook, it shows the dominant allele expressed. Polydactyl is the condition of having more than the typical number of fingers or toes. The allele for polydactyl is dominant, so that's actually a dominant trait in human beings. Most traits occur in a range and don't follow simple dominant recessive patterns. Here we can see all of these terms that we just talked about, the dominant and the recessive, and then examples, homozygous, heterozygous, genotype, the genetic makeup. This is what that would look like, and we're going to give those in percentages of possibilities. And then the phenotype, the physical appearance. This could be blue eyes or freckles or tongue rollers, tall plants, red flowers, and we give those in percentages as well.